Okay, we're back here at the IRA Civic Center. Last game of the day between Minot and Roseau. As we close out Saturday play here at the Star North BAA AA tournament. A fun day here at the IRA Civic Center. Looking forward to tomorrow's 12 o'clock and 2 o'clock championship game tomorrow afternoon as well. As we get ready to face off between Minot and Roseau. And then Blake will have your play-by-play for this one. So it should be a fun one here tonight.
All right, here we go. Both teams at the face-off dot, and we are underway from the IRA Civic Center as it's brought in by Roseau, and they put a shot on net. And now Noah Ernest gets tripped up. He's going to try centering it. Blocked away by Anthony Agard. Now it's going to be poked up to Azir Morales. And Minot brings it in. Now it's going to be brought through neutral by Noah Ernest. Ernest centering pass over to Aiden Severson. I'm sorry, that was a Preston Lundbaum. And now it's going to be picked up by Jackson Bradley. And Minot brings it out now through neutral. Morales. He's going to shoot it in. And now it's going to be picked up by Aaron Wentzlaff. Now a drive in by Minot's number 19, Benjamin Samstu. Roseau trying to knock it out here as Brendan Johnson flips it off the glass, but it's kept in by Freeman of Minot. Picked up by Minot now, and a shot on that goes wide of the net. That was a Svangstu putting a shot on. Now it's going to be picked up by Wentzlaff. Sends it up to Tegan LaPlante. Roseau trying to drive it out, and they do as LaPlante sends it off the glass. Now it's Johnson trying to pick it up. He's going to battle for it in the corner along with Freeman of Minot. Now Freeman's going to come away with it. Goes behind the net. Makes a move. Makes a man miss. Now Minot's going to flip it out. Picked up by Johnson. Momentarily in neutral. Now picked up by Jensen. He gets it taken away by Minot now as they drive in. Now a shot on there by number 7, Brock Madsen. And the goaltender, Dylan Johnson, is there for the save for the Rams. This game is brought to you by Minnesota Twist Drill in Chisholm. They're a proud sponsor of Up North Hockey. They wish best of luck to all players on the season ahead and to have fun. All right, face-off here in the Roseau zone as it's flipped out. And a pass up to number 18, Logan Hedlund. Can't connect on the pass, though, and it goes all the way down for an icing. Just getting underway here in the first period between Minot and Roseau. 14:38 remaining in this first period of play as we have a face-off here in the Roseau zone. One back to Thingvold. Roseau trying to knock it out. It's Thingvold sending it up to Hedlund, and they send it out, intercepted by Minot. Now picking it up is Thingvold again. He sends it out. It's going to go all the way into the Minot zone. Picked up by the Wolves. And now it's going to be Agard bringing it in. Centering pass intercepted by Roseau's Severson. He knocks it away. And now Agard's going to dump it into the zone. Back up to Agard at the point now. Shot on that's blocked. And poked back in by Agard. But then it's shot up by Queen. Now a chance there, but it's covered up by the goaltender for Minot, number 30, Connor Erdman. All right, so 13:44 remaining here in period number 1. Still knotted up at 0. No score between Minot and Roseau. It's going to be sent out by Minot as it's Ethan Hill trying to advance it. It was poked up by LaPlante. Now brought in by Dylan Bass. Now Roseau's going to get it out of the zone, but it goes into the Rams bench and out of play.
Yeah, so 3 shots on goal here for Roseau to 1 for Minot.
It's going to be brought in by the Wolves. As that was Ethan Hill bringing it in. Now in the corners, Sphinx still with it, sends it around the net. Now it's going to be picked up by Roseau's Wedslav. And now it's going to be flipped out by Tatter George. Now in the Minot zone is Lundbaum. Now the puck's behind the net, behind goaltender Erdman. Now the play's in neutral here. Brendan Johnson picks it up. He loses it now over to Sphinxtu. Now Sphinxtu's going to bring it through center ice. He's going to drive in, trying to go all alone. Gives a drop pass down to Morales. He puts a shot on and saved by goaltender Johnson. They'll play along the boards, now in the corner. Still battling for it. Now Minot's going to come away with it as they go behind the net. Now up to the point to Bass. Back to Bass now at the point. He's going to shoot it in. Intercepted by the Rams' Wentzlaff. Wentzlaff up to Ernest. And now with a shot on there by Gavin Jensen. And a glove save by Brock Matson.
Yeah, nice little wrister from Jensen there. Opportunity for Roseau to get on the board first. And a solid save by the goaltender.
So face-off here in the Minot zone, and as it's won back by the Wolves. Now it gets sent up to the point to Ballard. Ballard puts a shot that goes wide of the net. Now it's going to be picked up by Gavin Jensen. Goes behind the net. Now Morales out front with a chance. Rebound chance there by Jensen. And a save by goaltender Erdman. Roseau starting to find their game as they have another chance. Backhand shot by Ernest. And another save there by Connor Erdman of Minot. And now here's a chance. 2-on-1 chance for, that was Agard, I believe. Number 13. Puts a shot on and a save by goaltender Dylan Johnson. This game is brought to you by the Rink Sports Grill in Eveleth. They offer casual family dining in a hockey-themed atmosphere. Try one of their daily specials or your favorites from the menu. Rink Sports Grill offers 8 large screen TVs and 2 10-foot projection screens. A shot out from the point by Minot's number 10, Ratke. It's a shot that goes wide. Now another shot that goes well wide of the net. Now it's sent up to number 18, Logan Hedlund. Another shot there for Minot. And another save there by goaltender Dylan Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson making some nice saves here. And period number 1 as well.
Another face-off here in the Roseau zone, as coming away with it is Braden Thingvold. Now it's going to be sent up the boards by Wentzlaff. Wentzlaff within the corner now, sends it behind the net over to Braden Thingvold. Now Roseau sends it out into the neutral zone. Now in center ice as Minot retreats and picks it up. And it sends it, tried passing it there, sends it on net. And the goaltender Erdman's forced to cover it up there.
And number 30 in goal for Minot here. Erdman making some nice saves, Blake, here in period number 1.
Yeah, we saw this with Roseau in the last game. They had so many chances, especially that first period, and they couldn't come through it. They were getting shut down by a hot goalie, and we're seeing the same thing here so far in this first period with Erdman playing the Roseau zone here. Roseau trying to knock it out. Still battling for it along the sideboards. Now in the corner. Who's going to come away with it? As Roseau does. Sent around the boards by Ernest. And now Lundbaum, tries sending it out, and he does. That was actually Noah Ernest sending it all the way down for an icing. So on this Roseau team, there's a familiar name, Aaron Wetzlaff. Of course, we did the Roseau Rams and Greenway Raiders a couple weeks ago, and I believe there were two Wetzlaff brothers. So who knows? They might be a brother of the two brothers on the high school team, or they could be cousins as well. Shot that couldn't get through there for Minot, and now it's going to be flipped out by Tanner George. Poked right back in by Minot Morales. Now bringing it through neutral, trying to knock it in to Jackson Bradley, but it's going to be intercepted by Roseau as it's Lundbaum. And they're offside there on the play.
Yeah, not sure if it... We'll have to see. Maybe we can find out if it's a brother or a cousin. Of course, Wenslav is a name that's kind of familiar. Heard that name before in Roseau as well.
9:25 remaining here in period number 1. Still no score between Minot and Roseau as play continues here in the Minot zone as it goes behind the net. Gavin Jensen trying to get to the puck. It's going to be flipped out by the Wolves as Esslinger dumps it in. Now it's going to be picked up by Jensen again through center ice. Jensen's going to bring it in. Skates back over to Johnson. Brendan Johnson with a shot, hits the back of the net there. Rebound chance. Another chance there for LaPlante. Nothing is going Roseau's way here today in this game and in their first game this morning. They've had a lot of chances and another one there, and they couldn't come through again as there was another save there by Connor Erdman. Another big save for Minot.
Yeah, Erdman making some big saves here in period number 1. Keeping this a 0-0 game.
One back by Roseau as Johnson sends it around the boards. It's going to be Bash coming away with it. Tries setting it up the boards. Now chasing after it's Freeman for Minot. Tries setting it around the boards, but it's going to be intercepted by Brennan Johnson. Now at the point is Wentzlaff trying to put a shot on, doesn't get it through. Now play in the neutral zone here. Poked in by Wentzlaff once again. Now the goaltender Erdman plays it. Minot trying to get it out here. Kept in by Brendan Johnson. Now in the corner is Bass, and he's going to pass it up to number 19, Benjamin Sphinxtu. He's going to bring it in the corner. Centering pass, no one home there as it got blocked away by Hedlund. Now a shot that hits the backboards. And now it's being picked up by Minot. Going behind the net is McCann. And now it's going to be poked out by Logan Hedlund for Roseau. And knocked right back in by Minot as it's Wentzlaff picking it up. And now it's going to be intercepted by Morales. Now in the corner is Severson. He sends it up to Ernest. Ernest is going to knock it in. Now behind the net. As coming away with it is Queen. Queen falls down and he's going to lose it. Roseau still battling for it. And now it's going to be picked up by Minot's number 13, Anthony Agard. He's going to pick it up again, puts a backhand shot in the zone. Now from the point, a shot there by Jackson Radke and a save by Dylan Johnson. Now Roseau's going to try to get it out here, and they do. Intercepted by Dylan Bass. Now it's going to be picked up by Radke for Minot in the neutral zone, bringing it in. He loses it. He's going to battle for it as it's sent over to Tanner George for Roseau. Picking it up for Minot now is Ethan Hill. Battle for it along the backboards to the right of goaltender Johnson. And now we have a stoppage of play. 6:21 remaining here in period number 1. Still knotted up at 0 as we have no score between Roseau and Minot.
Got an Instagram message, but I could not read it about the Wenslofs from Roseau. I believe it said that they were both cousins.
Yep, I got a message from Terry George. I know Terry very well up in Roseau. She said Aaron and Isaac are brothers, and Dad is a cousin. So it looks like the two brothers on the high school team, or the two Wenslofs on the high school team are cousins, and then Aaron and one of the cousins of the high school team are brothers. So there is a relation with both of them, but a family relationship, brother relationship with Aaron on this team, and then Isaac on the high school team.
Well, thank you for sending that in to us. Appreciate that.
So Rosa brings it in, and they can't control it. And now it's going to be play continues here behind the net. Minot trying to knock it out along the sideboards. Back to Bass in the corner. Bass whiffs on the shot. George almost had a chance to intercept it and maybe put a shot on. Now it's Wensloff in the Roseau zone. Sends it back to Ballard. Alex Ballard back to Wensloff. And he sends it up to Ernest. Ernest sends it in. Picking up Brendan Johnson with a shot. Hits the post. What a chance there for Brendan Johnson. Once again, Roseau can't cash in there as Johnson hits the post. And here comes Minot now in the Roseau zone. In the corner. And he's going to lose it to Wensloff. Wensloff through center ice. He's going to bring it in. Now in the corner. He gets knocked off the play. And it's going to be picked up by Minot as they send it up the boards. Now a shot on there from the point by Noah Ernest. And a save by goaltender Connor Erdman. This game is brought to you by Iron Ridge Apparel. Stop by Iron Ridge Apparel for all your Minnesota-themed clothing and home decor. Located in the Thunderbird Mall in Virginia, Iron Ridge Apparel offers lake cabin and home decor, along with a large variety of apparel. Grab a hockey hoodie for the rink or a winter hat for the cold Minnesota weather. Play continues here in the Minot zone as it was picked up by Freeman. He sends it around the boards up to McCann. McCann's going to send it out now, intercepted by Brendan Johnson. Johnson sends it right back in. Picked up by Freeman. Freeman pass up to Esslinger. And he falls down. It's going to be picked up by Aiden Severson. Now Brendan Johnson to Noah Ernest. Ernest with a shot on there. And another glove save there by Connor Erdman. 4:25 remaining here in period number 1. Still no score between Minot and Roseau, and looking at the shots on goal, 9-6 in favor of the Rams. They've definitely had some opportunities once again in this game, looking for their first goal of the day here tonight. One back by the Rams, trying to put a shot on there was Severson, and it got blocked. Another shot on there, and it gets deflected and goes over the net, and it comes out front. Intercepted by Minot. Skating up with it's Brock Jones. Now over to Brock Matson, and Minot brings that in. Play in the corner now as Matson's going to pick it up. Out front, backhand shot there by number 19, Benjamin Sphinxdu, and a save there by Dylan Johnson for the Rams.
Quick shout out to Aaron LaPlante. He's watching his nephew, Tegan LaPlante, play he's watching from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So thank you for watching, Aaron. We appreciate that.
Roseau's going to bring it out as it's LaPlante with it. Now it's over to Wensloff, who's going to chip it in. Chasing for it was Lundbum, and it's going to be taken out by Minot, sent right back in by Aaron Wensloff. Picking it up for the Wolves is Bass. Bass is going to send it out, and it's going to go all the way down for an icing. The referee for this game here tonight is Bobby Zulke. We got to work with Bobby on Thursday night. He was doing the radio with Tom Downing for the Greenway radio, and of course we were doing the game, broadcast of the game, the Greenway Evelyn Gilbert game at the Hippodrome. So that was a lot of fun to do with Bobby Zulke, and now he's reffing here tonight.
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun having Bobby up next to us. Of course, I couldn't hear all the assists, and he was giving me all the assists on the goals. It was really nice having Bobby next to us. And Bobby and Tom doing a great job.
So there's a shot on there by Ernest. Save Erdman, and now it's going to be intercepted by Minot as they send it out. Picking it up is Jones. Brock Jones pokes it in. Sent right back out by Thingvold. Now bringing it in is Ernest. Shot that goes very high of the net. Hits the glass. Now it's going to be sent around the boards. It's going to be Madsen and Thingvold chasing for it along the sideboards. And now we have a penalty coming up here on Minot, it looks like. 2:48 remaining here in period number 1. And the Roseau Rams are going to get their first power play of the night. Still looking for their first goal of the day in 3 periods and almost 4 periods here today.
Yeah, they certainly have had some chances. Goaltender Erdman playing really well for Minot here in period number 1. Roseau looking to get on the scoreboard for the first time today here.
It's one back by Minot. It's going to be picked up by Bradley. But coming away with it is Ernest. Roseau power play out here as it's sent out to Aaron Wetzlaff. Wetzlaff with a shot. Another save there by Connor Erdman as Aaron Wetzlaff put a nice hard shot on from the point. Power play just getting underway for Roseau. 1:47 remaining on that, and 2:34 remaining here in our first period of play. It's still knotted up at 0 apiece as it's one back to Wetzlaff of Roseau. He shoots it into the corner, and now George is going to pick it up for the Rams. George falls down. Now it's going to be Agard picking it up. He's going to skate it up. Now sends it up to Svangstu. Svangstu gets it poked away by Wetzlaff. Now along the sideboards. And now a pass over to, can't quite see the number there, but shorthanded chance there for Minot. And a save there by Dylan Johnson. Now it's going to be sent around the boards by Ernest. Intercepted by Minot once again. They're doing a great job so far on this penalty kill. And now Roseau's going to take it out as it's Ernest bringing it in. Ernest still with it with a chance. Centering pass over to Aiden Severson. Can't connect on the pass there. And it leaves the Minot zone as it's Ernest in neutral. Ernest is going to bring it in. Ernest still with us. He's going to drive in. Shot on there. And a save by goaltender Erdman. Agard with it. Sends it out. It's going to go all the way into the Roseau zone. Wetzlaff has some pressure coming his way as McCann picks it up for a moment there. And picking it up for the Rams is Gavin Jensen. 30 seconds remaining on the Roseau power play. Jensen sends it back to Wetzlaff. Now back to Jensen as he's going to bring it up the sideboards through neutral. Jensen driving in back to George. Tanner George now behind the nets. Jensen back to George. Out front is LaPlante. Can't give it to him there. Now Minot's going to send it out. Roseau trying to dump it back in, but it's going to be picked up by Bass. Bass with a pass over to number 17, McCann with a shot there, and a save by Johnson. And now Minot's back at full strength. Another unsuccessful power play for the Roseau Rams here tonight. 35 seconds remaining here in period number 1. Now it's going to be sent up by Minot in their own zone. Kept in at the point by Gavin Jensen. Intercepted by number 15, Freeman. And now Minot gets it out as it's McCann bringing it through neutral. He's going to dump it in. Picking up for Roseau is Spildy. Spildy up the boards to Jensen. Jensen makes a move. Looking over his options as he sends it up to Noah Ernest. Ernest drives in. He better hurry. 2 seconds remaining. And that's going to do it for the first period of play here between Minot and Roseau. No score so far in this one. Shots on goal. 14-10 in favor of the Roseau Rams. Well, it's been a pretty entertaining game here so far. You know, this game doesn't have any implications on the wild card seedings with the goal differential. But you know, it's been a fun game here so far. Pretty evenly matched, both teams with a lot of chances, and no score after 1 period of play.
Yeah, so good chances on both sides of the ice. Great goaltending by the 2 goaltenders here. Goaltender Erdman for Minot And then the Roseau goaltender Dylan Johnson making some key saves here, period number 1.
So the Zamboni's out to resurface. After 1 period of play, it's Minot 0 and Roseau 0. We'll be back for second period action coming up here from the IRA Civic Center in Grand Rapids. And we are underway for period number 2 here from the IRA Civic Center between Roseau and Minot. No score so far here in this game. This is back to the point, kept in by Minot's Agard. Agard tries driving in, but it's knocked away by Roseau's Noah Ernest. And now Minot tries keeping in. That was Jackson Bradley. Now driving in, trying to knock it in, is Dawson McCann for Minot. Now Brennan Johnson's going to intercept it momentarily and then knocked ahead by Gavin Jensen. Now poked in deep into the zone by Noah Erdis, and now it's going to be sent all the way down by Minot. And an icing face off in the Wolves zone coming up here. .16:07 remaining here in period number 2, just getting underway for the second period of play. As Roseau tries putting a shot on there, and it was blocked away. Now controlling it in neutral is Severson, and it's going to be knocked in by the Rams for a moment there. Then Lundbom has to knock it back in for Roseau. Now poking ahead into the corners, LaPlante. Now intercepted here by Lundbom. Rebound chances. And the Roseau Rams, once again, cannot knock it in. They've had so many chances here in last game, and a lot of chances here in this game, as it's brought in by Lundbom, and he's Roseau's offside face-off coming up here in the neutral zone.
Well, looking for our first goal of the game coming up here. Both teams with both chances on goal here, but so far his goaltender's playing tough in this game here.
We actually do have a big game in the other rink. The winner of that game between St. Cloud and Prior Lake is going to win that pool, so a big game in the East rink to determine the semifinal team here in the Star of the North Grand Rapids Bantam AA tournament. 15:20 remaining here in period number 2 as play continues here in the Minot zone. Trying to center it there is Tanner George, and now out front, George is going to pick it up, and he can't get a shot off there. George still with it. He's going to send it around the boards, and it's going to be picked up by Radke. Now Minot gets it out. As it's trying to pick it up is McCann, sent right back in by Roseau's Lundbom. Down the corner is Bass trying to center it. Now Minot brings it in into the Roseau zone in the corner now, and it leaves the zone. Now there's going to be a battle in the Minot zone. Picking it up for Roseau is Queen. Looks like he couldn't get a shot off there. Could have been a golden opportunity there for Jake Queen. Play still in the Minot zone here, now in the corner to the left of goaltender Erdman. And now it's going to be picked up by Matson. Matson sends it out. It's going to be tipped by Spildy. Spildy's going to pick it up. He's going to send it off the boards, and it's going to go all the way down for an icing. This game is brought to you by Minnesota Twist Drill in Chisholm. They're a proud sponsor of Up North Hockey, and they wish best of luck to all players on the season ahead and to have fun. So face off here in the Roseau zone, and it's going to be one back to Bass, who sends it in. Now intercepted by the Rams in the corner is Spildy. Spildy sends it out, and now retreating in the Minot zone is Bradley. Now picked up by Sphinxtu. He's going to bring it through center ice into the Roseau zone. Sphinxtu still with it. Tries to make a move. Now he's in the corner with it. Sends it up to the point to Bass. Can't get a shot on net there. Now it's going to be brought in further by Bradley into the corner. Bradley sends it up to the point to number 8. Morales. Now playing the corner here to the right of goaltender Dylan Johnson. Now a battle for it along the sideboards. Still battling for it here. 13-13 remaining here in period number 2. And now coming away with it for Roseau's Ernest. Ernest does get it out now up to Gavin Jensen. Now here's a breakaway chance for Ernest. He scores! Noah Ernest buries it for Roseau. And they finally get that long-awaited goal here on Saturday. It took 4 periods and about 4 minutes to get that goal for Roseau, and they take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Ernest had some chances all day long here to score, and he finally is able to bury it and get Roseau ahead 1-0 in this game.
So that goal coming at 4 minutes of the second period here. Our first goal of the game belongs to the Roseau Rams. This is going to be one back by Roseau, and it's going to be sent up by Severson. Now controlling it in the Minot zone for the Wolves is Freeman. Freeman's still with it. Sends it up, and now it's going to be brought through neutral by Matson. Gavin Jensen with the first assist there on Roseau's goal, and the second assist to number 16, Braxton Spildy. And of course, scoring the goal was number 8, Noah Ernest, to give the Roseau Rams a 1-0 lead. 12:22 remaining here in period number 2. Like I said, it's Roseau 1 and Minot 0. And it's Minot tries flipping it out as it's gloved and kept in by the goal scorer Ernest. Now Ernest is going to pick it up. He centers it to George. Tries putting a backhand shot on net, and it goes wide of the net. Now it's George on the corner coming away with it. Tries centering it. And now it's going to be flipped up by Logan Headland, and it's going to be gloved and saved by Connor Erdman.
Well, just a reminder to the Roseau viewers out there that we'll be making the trek up to Warroad here on January 28th for your high school battle between Warroad and Roseau.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun seeing that classic rivalry between the Rams and Warriors. It's going to be our first time seeing it, and of course our first time live streaming it, so that's going to be a lot of fun at the Warroad Gardens, as it's part 2 of the Warroad and Roseau series for the 2019-2020 season. Of course, Roseau got that thrilling victory in game number 1. They were trailing 4-1 after 2 periods of play, and they came all the way back and won the game in regulation 5-4. So we're hoping for a thriller just like that one in part 2 as we head up there.
Yeah, that'd be a fun night.
And another goal there, as it's Gavin Jensen shooting it in for Roseau, I believe. And all of a sudden, the Roseau Rams are buzzing, and it wasn't Gavin Jensen. It was once again Noah Ernest there for Roseau, burying it to make it 2-0 in favor of the Rams.
Yeah, Ernest is opening up the scoring here for Roseau.
So scoring the goal was number 8, of course, Noah Ernest, and assist to number 15, Aiden Severson. That makes it 2-0 Roseau as we reach the 11-minute mark of the second period. Now playing the corner here, and now we have a penalty coming up on Minot. As heading to the box is Anthony Agard. Looks like a cross-checking penalty. Roughing penalty, or cross-checking penalty as we get the call from referee Bobby Zulke. So a power play here for Roseau, and they lead 2-0. 10:52 remaining here in period number 2. Face off of the neutral zone as it's going to be picked up by LaPlante. Now back to Johnson. He sends it back to Alex Ballard. Now back up to Johnson. He's going to try driving in. And he does as Jensen controls it. Now up front with the chance, but gets it poked away was Queen. Now it's going to be taken out by Minot as it's Dawson McCann driving in, shot on there. And a save by goaltender Dylan Johnson. Now Roseau controls behind the net as it's Ballard with it. Ballard tried finding Jensen, but it's going to be intercepted by Minot. Bradley. Now a shot on there by Sphinx too. Puts a shot out there. Now a penalty coming up on the Roseau Rams. Gavin Jensen heading to the box. And we'll have 4-on-4, or no. Yeah, we'll have 4-on-4 hockey here for a minute 07. And then Minot's going to head to the power play, looking to score their first goal of the game. This game is brought to you by Minnesota Twist Drill in Chisholm. They are a proud sponsor of Up North Hockey, and they wish best of luck to all players on the season ahead and to have fun. The Rink Sports Grill in Eveleth offers casual family dining in a hockey-themed atmosphere. Try one of their daily specials or your favorites from the menu. Rink Sports Grill offers 8 large-screen TVs and 2 10-foot projection screens. 9:53 remaining here in period number 2, and we'll have a 4-on-4 hockey here for about a minute. Then a short power play for Minot as it's brought up by Ernest, but he gets it taken away by Minot at center ice. Now it's going to be poked away by Wentzlaff. Controlled by Minot. Centering pass and a shot on. Saved there by Dylan Johnson. Now Ernest sends it back to Wentzlaff. It's going to be poked away but picked up in the opposite corner by Braxton Spildy. He's going to send it out. Now in the Minot zone is Jackson Radke. He skates back in his own zone. Radke still with it through center ice. Radke's going to bring it in. Puts a shot on. Save Johnson. And knocked away by Spildy. Now Sphinx do with it. Fumbles with it. Still has the puck though. Sends it to the point. As Jackson Radke sends it in. That's going to be intercepted by the Rams. As poking it in is Preston Lundbohm. Lundbohm still with it. Centers up to the point. Wentzlaff puts a shot up. Pad save there by Erdman. And now it's going to be sent up to Minot. McCann. He puts a shot on. Another save there by goaltender Dylan Johnson for the Rams. Now it's Agard with it. Skating around with it along the sideboards. Agard still within the corner. Looking over his options. Sends it up to the point. And now it's sent over to Dylan Bass. Coming away with it is McCann in the corner. Now up to Bass, who keeps it in. Now he sends it into the corner. As it's going to be McCann. McCann wheeling around to Agard. Agard makes a move. He's going to go back in the corner. Back to 5-on-5 hockey here as Gavin Jensen's back on the ice. And Roseau's at full strength. No harm done for the Roseau Rams on that penalty kill. Now it's going to be sent all the way down for an icing. This game is brought to you by Iron Range Apparel. Stop by Iron Range Apparel for all your Minnesota-themed clothing and home decor. Located in the Thunderbird Mall in Virginia, Iron Range Apparel offers lake cabin and home decor, along with a large variety of apparel. Grab a hockey hoodie for the rink or a winter hat for the cold Minnesota weather. Each item is designed in-house, paying special attention to the local history and heritage. Play continues here along the sideboards of the Roseau zone to the right of goaltender Johnson. 7:27 remaining here in period number 2. The Rams get 2 in this period and lead by a score of 2-0. This is going to be poked up by Ernest and then eventually sent out by Hedlund. Brought in by Roseau, and it's going to be picked up by Bass. Bass behind the net now. Bass is going to pick it up. He's going to bring it through neutral. Bass coming in, makes a move. He gets knocked off the play. Still battling for it. Now behind goaltender Dylan Johnson behind the net. Coming away with it for Minot is Morales. And a shot on there by Brock Madsen. And Dylan Johnson's there for the save for the Rams.
Josh F. is asking if Roseau is in the blue jerseys, and you are correct. So two goal lead for Roseau here. See what happens the rest of the way through.
Yeah, and a comment about the jersey, that's something unique about Warwood and Roseau. They both have, you know, the American flag colors on their jerseys. Because you're not a Roseau Ram or a Warwood Warrior until you get to the high school team. So that's something unique that those two schools do as well. Play continues here in the Minot zone as it's going to be picked up by the Wolves, but taken away by Brennan Johnson there for a moment as it's going to be Agard bringing it in. Now he's in the corner of the Roseau zone. Still with it, trying to make a move. He gets it poked away. Now battle for it along the sideboards. Agard puts a shot that's tipped away by LaPlante. Now behind the net comes Minot as they control it. 5:52 remaining here in period number 2. It's still 2-0 in favor of the Roseau Rams. That's going to be sent up to Brennan Johnson, and he sends it up to Gavin Jensen. Brings it through neutral, and now it's going to be Brennan Johnson bringing it in. He gets it poked away by Agard. Agard picks it up now, and he's going to poke it out. And it should go all the way down for an icing here. 5:31 remaining here in our second period of play. 2-0 in favor of Roseau. All right, so face off here in the Minot zone as it's going to be taken out by Dawson McCann. He's going to skate for it out front, and it's shot by goaltender Dylan Johnson up the ice, and now it's going to be Ernest driving in. Over to George. Back to Ernest. Can't get a stick on it as he had a wide open net there. Kind of got blocked from getting a shot off there as it's going to be sent right back in by Lundbohm. Now picked up by Minot, and they're going to send it all the way down for an icing here. Another face-off coming up here in the Minot zone. Looking at shots on goal, fairly close. 19-17 in favor of the Roseau Rams. Both teams with opportunities. But so far, it's been the Rams cashing in with 2 goals here in the second period. As it's going to be taken away by Minot's number 14, Bass. And he sends it up to McCann. McCann tries centering it over to Bass and could connect on the pass there. Up to the point to Bass now. Centering over to McCann. Can't get a stick on it. Now it's going to be shot right back in by Radke. Now in the corner, Minot controls still in the Roseau zone. Now Roseau finally tips it out as it's Ernest chasing for it in the Minot zone. But it does go all the way down for an icing. Face-off coming up here in the Roseau zone.
Well, 4:21 left here. Second period. Roseau holding that 2-goal lead.
One back by Roseau. Back to Spildy. Now Roseau knocks it out, and Minot will be forced to retreat. But it does go all the way down for an icing. Another face-off coming up here in the Rab zone. Well, it's been a fun hockey day, Minnesota, here in Grand Rapids. We had our first 2 games this morning. We saw Roseau and St. Cloud play. It was a 4-0 victory for St. Cloud. Then the second game, we saw Grand Rapids and Chaska Chanhassen, 3-1 victory for the Stormhawks. Then we got to watch some hockey on the TV. As Hockey Day Minnesota was going on down in Minneapolis. I got to watch the full game between Blade and Blake, and that was kind of an entertaining game. Then in our last game here, it was a 4-0 victory for Grand Forks over Rochester. So it's certainly been a fun day here at the IRA Civic Center on Hockey Day Minnesota.
A little warmer this year, Blake, for you than Hockey Day 2019, and for me, Hockey Day 2013.
Yep, those were 2 of the coldest Hockey Day Minnesotas in history. You know, we were lucky in Bemidji that the wind didn't pick up at all. You know, it was cold out. It was about -28. But, you know, if the wind was blowing there, would have definitely been miserable, just like it was here in Grand Rapids with the wind blowing off Lake Bokegama. This is controlled by Minot, and it's going to be sent down by number 13, Anthony Agard, and it goes down for an icing. Yeah, Hockey Day Minnesota back in 2013 was definitely one to remember. One of the referees, Cody Bad, he's one of the referees here this weekend. You know, that was obviously a very memorable hockey day for him. Of course, he scored the game winner there in overtime against Benilde St. Margaret. So, you know, he probably thinks about that every year when Hockey Day Minnesota comes around.
Right, I'm sure he thinks about that, and that was either the first loss for Benilde St. Margaret's, or they only had like one loss on the season, and when Grand Rapids beat them here.
Yeah, I think they were very good that season. It might have been the season when they won the state championship. I think, I'm not totally sure, but it could have very well been, as there's a chance out front there. Dawson McCann trying to knock it in, can't get a stick on it. 2:33 remaining here in period number 2, as it's sent out by Roseau. Now a 2-on-1 chance here if they hurry, as there's a centering pass by Severson, couldn't get it through. Now it's Wentzloff, and he sends it up to Ernest, and Ernest is just going to knock it in. Retreating for Minot is Bass. Bass sends it over to his defensive partner, number 10, Jackson Radke. Now it's going to be sent up by Johnson and flipped right back in by Minot's McCann. Now McCann's going to pick it up in the corner, looking over his options. Centers it. Another pass over there to number 11, Brock Jones, and he could bury it there. Good passing there by Minot, but they just couldn't come through, as there's a shot on there by the Rams. Now up to the point to Ballard. Shot that can't get it through. Back up to Ballard. Minot at full strength here. Another shot by Ballard, and a blocker save by goaltender Erdman. Now Ballard's going to chase for it along with Brock Jones. Now it's going to be picked up by Minot behind the net in the Roseau zone. Along the sideboards now. Dumped right back in, goes behind the net. Now it's going to be Ballard. And along the sideboards once again on the other side. 1:10 remaining here in period number 2. Flipped up by Jensen, and it's going to be kept in by the Wolves. Radke. Now driving in, trying to put a backhand shot was Sphinxtu. Couldn't get it through there. Picked up by Minot once again. Goes behind the net. Sent up to the point, and he can't keep it in. That was Radke. Now Roseau sends it up. That was LaPlante. Now driving in for Minot. Shot blocked there by Jensen. Roseau trying to send it out here. Players have been out there a long time trying to get a change. 29 seconds remaining here in period 2 as it's flipped up by the Rams. Now Jensen up to Ernest. Ernest is going to skate out with speed. He gets it out. And now it's Minot again coming in. Esslinger bringing it in. Intercepted by Gavin Jensen. 13 seconds remaining as he sends it up to Ernest. Ernest is going to dump it in. He's going to chase for it along with Minot's Sphinxtu. Now centering pass to George. 3 seconds remaining. Puts a shot on net. And a save there by Erdman. And that's going to do it for the second period of play. Roseau Rams get 2 goals in that period. And they lead 2-0 after 2 periods of play.
Yeah, Roseau got on the scoreboard 2 times, like Blake said. First goal for Roseau. Noah Ernest picking up that first goal. Got the assist on the goal from Gavin Jensen. Second assist credited to Braxton Spildy. That was at the 4-minute mark, and then Roseau would make it 2-0. Noah Ernest again with his second goal of the game, and the single assist from Aiden Severson. So that's where we stand after 2 periods of play. Roseau 2 and Minot 0.
Yeah, Roseau finally broke the ice there. They finally get that goal. After 4 periods today of not getting a goal, they've certainly had some chances all day. They finally get one, and once they got that one, they followed that up with another one. They scored 2 there in that second period and lead 2-0 going into the third period.
Yeah, big period there for the Roseau Rams. Well, we got at least 17 minutes left here at the Irish Civic Center to close out Hockey Day 2020 here in Grand Rapids, around the state. Been a fun day here at the Star of the North tournament and a AA tournament.
We got breaking news from Hockey Day Minnesota for 2021. Mankato will be hosting the site for next year, so that's going to be a fun site. Southern Minnesota really hasn't hosted a Hockey Day Minnesota. I think Mankato is a great spot for that. And they definitely should have Mankato East and Mankato West play each other. They're 2 even teams. They're rivals, and they would definitely get a big showing for that game.
Yeah, that'd be a fun matchup. Hopefully both of those schools will be invited to participate.
Which I'm sure they would, because it's in Mankato. I remember a couple years ago it was in St. Cloud, and St. Cloud Cathedral played each other, so I'm sure they're going to match them 2 teams up with each other as play continues here in the Roseau zone. Just getting underway here for our final period of play. 2-0, the Roseau Rams with the lead over the Minot Wolves as it's controlled by Jensen along the sideboards. Now intercepted by Minot. Morales loses it, and it's going to be sent in by Freeman. Wentzloff trying to control it, but once again intercepted by Roseau. Johnson trying to flip it out, and it's kept in at the point by Freeman. Now behind the net, as picking up a loose puck is Dawson McCann. Tries center it, blocked away by the Rams. Now coming up with it is Brennan Johnson through center ice. He gives it over to Severson. Now it's going to be Agard bringing it in. And then Sphinx too trying to put a shot on, and it got blocked away. Now putting a shot on from the sideboards there is Dawson McCann. And another save there for Dylan Johnson, who has the shutout through 2 periods of play with 18 saves for Roseau.
Shout out to Joseph Sandlin. He says the Roseau VFW sponsors all youth teams. This is why they wear blue and white for the youth teams, and the same thing happens in Warroad until they make the varsity squads. So thank you, Joseph, for sending that information in to us. We appreciate that.
Face off here to the right of goaltender Johnson. It's going to be won back by Minot and sent into the corner by Jones. They'll play behind the net now. Both teams battling for it as it's going to be sent up to George. Now trying to control it there was McCann. Now George picks it up in the corner. And he does send it out now. Retreating in the neutral zone is Agard. Agard is going to try skating it up. Intercepted by George now along the sideboards at center ice. George loses it now, and it's going to be brought in by Jones. Passed over to Lundbohm. Now right back to Minot as they bring it through neutral. It's Brock Jones bringing it in. He puts a shot on. Rebound chance there for McCann. Big chance there, and another save there for Dylan Johnson of Roseau. And now it's going to be Roseau bringing it up. This is LaPlante putting a shot on, and a save there by Connor Erdman for Minot. This game is brought to you by Minnesota Twist Drill in Chisholm. They are a proud sponsor of North Hockey, and they wish best of luck to all players on the season ahead and to have fun. And the Rick Sports Grill in Eveleth offers casual family dining in a hockey-themed atmosphere. Try one of their daily specials or your favorites from the menu. The Rick Sports Grill offers 8 large screen TVs and 2 10-foot projection screens, so you never have to miss a minute of the game. Minot driving in here, a shot that goes wide of the net there by Minot's number 8, Morales. Now it's Roseau bringing it up, but intercepted by Bass. Bass is going to drive in with it. Gives over to Morales, a shot on there, and another save there for Dylan Johnson. 14:01 remaining here in period number 3. It's still Roseau 2 and Minot 0. Shots on goal, 23-21 in favor of the Roseau Rabs. Face-off coming up here to the left of Roseau's goaltender, number 1, Dylan Johnson. And it's going to be picked up by Ernest, who sends it out. Gloved by Minot's Agard. Ernest tries sending it out. It's going to be intercepted by Minot. Centers it out front, intercepted by Roseau momentarily. And then it's going to be Morales driving around with it. Radke, shot on, can't get it on net. Now in the corner, controlling is Minot. Now behind the net, centering pass out front. That was Sphinx with a chance there for Minot, and now it's going to be sent down by the Rams Queen, and it's going to go all the way down for an icing. This game is brought to you by Iron Range Apparel. Stop by Iron Range Apparel for all your Minnesota-themed clothing and home decor. Located in the Thunderbird Mall, Iron Range Apparel offers lake cabin and home decor, along with a large variety of apparel. Grab a hockey hoodie for the rink or a winter hat for the cold Minnesota weather. As we have a pipe shot there from the point for Minot. That was Bradley putting a shot on there, hit the post. Minot still controlling here, trying to get their first goal of the game. A centering pass there, no one home. Now a shot there from the point that goes over the net by Agard. Another shot there, can't get it through, was Bradley. Bradley controls now, driving around with it. Now we have a penalty coming up here on the Rams. Looks like a slashing penalty. And a power play here for Minot. Still a reachable score, only 2-0. Still plenty of time for that. But I would say Minot probably needs to try and get a goal here on this power play to get their first goal of the game.
Yeah, certainly reachable with 12:47 left here, period number 3. Just down by 2 goals.
So face off here to the left of goaltender Johnson. And it's going to be picked up by Minot's Bass. Bass goes behind the net now. Driving around, sends up to the point. It's McCann putting a shot on. Loose puck out front. They can't get a stick on it as Wentzloff picks it up. And he tries flipping it out, but it's kept in by Minot. Battle for it along the sideboards. It's going to be Sphinx to puts a shot on there, deflects, and goes out of play, hitting the netting. Minute 33 remaining on the Minot power play, and 12:19 remaining in our final period of play. Our final game here today, as we've had 4 games from the Star of the North Bantam AA tournament in Grand Rapids. As there's a shot on there by Bass, goes wide of the net. Now in the corner is Jones, sends it up to Bass at the point. Bass over to Agard, back to Bass now. Bass, the centering pass in the slots, can't handle it there. Now it's Bass with it again, over to Agard. Agard dumps it in, and now it's going to be picked up by Jones. Now over on the other side is McCann. Now we have a penalty coming up here on Minot. So we'll have 4-on-4 hockey for 55 seconds. And then a power play for a minute to 05 for the Roseau Rams. That's Anthony Agard heading to the box. That's going to be an interference penalty, I believe. So 11:41 remaining here in period number 3. It's still Roseau 2 and Minot 0. This will be won back by the Wolves. Back to Bradley in the Minot zone. Bradley skating back and now sends it up to Morales. Morales sends it up to Hansen. Shot that goes over the net. Now at the point, sending it in is Bass. Now along the sideboards as it gets sent back to Bass. Shot out there. He scores! Dylan Bass from the point knocks it in for Minot. And they get on the board here with 11:15 remaining in our third period of play. That's a big goal for Minot on the 4-on-4 there. Makes it 2-1. And now Minot's only down by 1. Plenty of time to tie it up here.
Yeah, nice goal by Dylan Bast of the Minot.
(14, 13, 12) is the scoring on that goal, as it's Dylan Bass from Anthony Agard and Elijah Hansen. That gets Minot on the board. Their first goal of the game here in this third period of play. Minot controls it. They're now on the penalty kill now for 1 minute. Roseau back at full strength, as it's going to be George bringing it in. Sends it over to Jensen. He's going to stick handle around with it. Jensen still with it. He backs in his own zone now. Jensen back to Ernest now. Ernest is going to drive in. Brings it into the Minot zone. Now Ernest still with it. Now George with a shot saved there by goaltender Erdman. More chances, more shots. Storming of shots there for Roseau, and they just can't knock it in. 29 seconds remaining on their power play, and 10-10 remaining in our third period of play.
Yeah, a couple good chances for Roseau to get this back to a 2-goal lead again, but excellent saves by Erdman there.
So face off here in the Minot zone. This has been controlled by the Wolves and now taken out, but knocked right back in. Taking it in is Aiden Severson. Now the Roseau zone, sent up to Lundbohm. Now over to Wentzloff. Aaron Wentzloff sends it up to Noah Ernest. Noah Ernest brings it into the Minot zone now. Over to George at the corner. Now Minot's at full strength. Back to 5-on-5 hockey here at the IRA Civic Center, as there's a centering pass. No one home there for the Rams. Now on the sideboards, picking it up is Tanner George. Shot out there. Looks like there could have been a tip opportunity, but it's gloved by goaltender Cotter Erdman. Stoppage of play. 9:28 remaining here in our final period of play. Still 2-1 in favor of the Roseau Rams.
Yeah, we could be in for a fun finish here with just that 1-goal differential here in this one. Maybe we'll see overtime. You never know.
By far the closest game we've seen today. That second game we saw between Chaska, Chanhassen, and Grand Rapids was, it was a close game. Score-wise, it was 3-1. But, Chaska dominated most of the play there. Right here, we have a pretty evenly matched game. Shots on goal, 27-25 in favor of Roseau. Then, of course, on the scoreboard, Roseau leads 2-1. So there's a centering pass there by Ernest. And Lundbohm can't get his stick out there. And now it's going to be taken out by Agard, bringing it in. Now flipped away by the Rams. And now they'll get it out, as poking ahead is Wentzloff. Along the sideboards, and now Minot flips it out, but flipped right back in by the Rams. Is now controlling it for Minot's Radke. It's it poked away. Now the goaltender Erdman plays it. It's going to be sent up to McCann. McCann loses it, and it goes on net. And goaltender Connor Erdman's forced to cover it up. 8:21 remaining here in our final period of play. It's Roseau 2 and Minot 1.
Yeah, both goaltenders, Erdman and Johnson, playing really well here in this game for both their squads.
Controlled by Minot here, as it's Bass. The retreating is Freeman. Freeman for Minot in the corner now. Now he gets it poked away. Freeman's still trying to control it. Yes, he will now control it, trying to skate it up, but taken away by Queen. But now Minot takes it out. As driving in is Svangstu. He puts a shot out there, and now it's going to be Ballard knocking it up the boards. Now Ballard controls again, sends it around the boards. Now picking it up is Thingvold. Thingvold back over to Ballard in the other corner. Ballard Over to Hedlund. Hedlund's going to skate it out himself, and he's going to dump it in as it goes around the boards. The goaltender, Erdman, plays it. Now controlling it is Minot as it's sent up to Svangstu. Shot on there, goes wide of the net. Now up to the point to Bast, and now it leaves the Roseau zone. As it's sent over to Bast in neutral. Bast is going to bring it through center ice now. Bast driving into the corner. Goes behind the net, going around the world here with the puck as he centers it. Now a shot on there by Svangstu. Nice opportunity there by Benjamin Svangstu. Now he controls it there for a second, and now it's going to be taken away by Ernest. Now Jensen up to Ernest, and they're going to be offside as Brennan Johnson couldn't wait long enough, and we'll have a stoppage of play. Face-off coming up here in the neutral zone. 6:35 remaining here in the third period. We have a tight one here. It's going to be a wild finish from the IRA Civic Center. 2-1 in favor of the Roseau Rams over the Minot Wolves as it's controlled by Minot. And now they're going to bring it in momentarily, but then sent right back in by Jackson Bradley. Now picking it up for the Rams is Spildy. Now here's a chance for George. Breakaway chance. Here comes George. Shot on there. Put a nice shot on, but a nice save there by goaltender Connor Erdman. Now it's Spildy. Over to Severson. Back over to Spildy, who can't control it there. And it's going to be sent in by Minot's Esslinger. Now Roseau controls in their own zone as it's sent over to Severson. And it's going to be kept in. Shot on there by Morales and a save by goaltender Dylan Johnson.
A really solid save by Connor Urban down there. A chance for Roseau to get up by 2 here, and Erdman closed the door on him.
Minot controls here in the corner. Looking to tie it up. Shots dead even at 28. 2-1. Roseau leads. 5:34 remaining here in period number 3 as it's going to be sent down to the corner to McCann. Now coming away with it for Roseau is Queen. Now it's Morales. Another shot there by Morales. And another save there by goaltender Dylan Johnson. Face off here to the right of goaltender Johnson. It's going to be controlled by Minot. McCann. He loses it now to Johnson. Johnson tries flipping it out, but it's going to be kept in by Agard. But now Roseau does flip it out. Reaching the 5-minute mark of this final period of play. As going to be poked in by Minot. Picking it up is Fangs to a shot that hits the post there. What a chance there. And now it's going to be sent down by Roseau. And it goes all the way down for an icing. Reminder to join us tomorrow, as once again we'll be back at the IRA Civic Center for some more Bantam AA action. We'll have a game at noon. Teams to be determined there. And then we'll have the championship game at 2 o'clock. As that should be a very entertaining one with 2 quality teams in that one. It's going to be kept in by Minot's Brock Jones. Sent up by Roseau now. Along the sideboards in front of the Roseau bench. Knocked in by Minot. And now Ernest is going to chase it. It gets poked away by the goaltender. Now play at center ice here. Minot brings it in for a moment. Now it's going to be Bass picking it up in the Minot zone. Bass up to Jones, who pokes it in. Now retreating for Roseau is Spildy. Braxton Spildy sends it around the boards, and it's going to be kept in by Bass. Leaves the zone now. It's going to be picked up by Morales as he retreats. And Morales is going to bring it in. He's going to put a shot on. And a glove save there by Roseau's goaltender, Dylan Johnson. 3:43 remaining here in our final period of play. It's 2-1, still in favor of the Roseau Rams. We have a tight one here to finish this one out. Our final game of the day. By far, it's been our closest one. 1-goal game. Final minutes. This one. This play continues along the sideboards of the Roseau zone. And the Rams are going to take it out as it's summed up by Preston Lumbum. Now picked up by Minot. And they're going to poke it out. But sent right back in by Severson. And now we have a penalty coming up on Minot. Number 19, Benjamin Sphinx to head into the box. Definitely not what Minot wanted to do here as they trail by 1. But a 2-minute penalty. They'll still have about a minute 18 to get something going if they can't get anything going on the penalty kill.
Yeah, they didn't want to take a penalty there, but still have time left in this game.
One back by Minot. Is controlling it is Agard. Agard sends it up to McCann. Shot out of there. Reminder, Minot on the penalty kill. McCann tries controlling it, but it's going to be pushed up by Ernest. And now Roseau will control as it's going to be picked up by LaPlante. Now controlling it is Tanner George. Tanner George at the slot tries putting a shot on. More chances out front. And now goaltender Connor Erdman's going to cover it up. 2:47 remaining here in the third period and a minute 29 remaining on the Minot penalty. Still 2-1 in favor of Roseau. It's been a low scoring and tight battle here in this one between the Rams and Wolves. Face off to the left of goaltender Erdman here as it's one back by Roseau. Ernest controls it along the sideboards up to the point to Severson. Back to Ernest. Now Ernest gets it poked away for a moment. He's going to send it on to the corner to George. George sends it around the boards over to Lundbohm. Now at the point, maybe Wentzlaff. Down to Ernest. Back to Wentzlaff now. Over to Ernest. Ernest is going to put a shot on, blocked away, and it goes wide of the net. And now it's going to be sent all the way down by Minot for an icing. 51 seconds remaining on the Minot penalty, and 2:09 remaining in regulation here.
Yeah, so you have 51 seconds left in that penalty kill Minot does, and when they get back to full strength, they'll still have a chance here to tie the score at 2 here.
Who knows? We might see overtime once again here on Up North Hockey. It's been a very common occurrence here for us. Of course, we saw overtime on Thursday between Greenway and Evelyn Gilbert. Of course, the Golden Bears got that big victory over the Raiders in that overtime period. Now it's going to be brought in by Jensen. The Rams are offside there.
And the Golden Bears are in first place in the Iron Range Conference as well, so that's a big win for them.
Yep, still a lot of conference and section games to be played, though, for all teams. But still, yeah, big accomplishment for that Golden Bears squad, looking to do some damage in the playoffs in Section 7A. This is going to be brought in by Agard. He stops, makes a move in the corner. Minute 35 remaining here in the third period. Minot trying to get something going. They'll be getting back to full strength in 10 seconds here. Ballard tries setting it up. It gets intercepted by Morales. Morales with it, sends it up to the point. And now Minot's at full strength. Now it's Bradley keeping it at the point. Goaltender coming off the ice here. They'll have the extra attacker as it almost goes in there. Almost snuck in to the left by the pipe of goaltender Johnson. Now it's going to be Jensen bringing it up. Minot controls now through center ice. As it's McCann trying to control it, and he does, goes behind the net. McCann, 45 seconds remaining here in period number 3. McCann puts a shot on, and a glove save by Dylan Johnson.
I would think there'd be a timeout coming up here, Blake.
Yep, a timeout for Minot, looking to set something up. 43 seconds remaining in our final period of play. Looking to tie it up there for the Wolves.
Queen Bee sends in a message. Thank you for streaming Up North Hockey. Queen Bee appreciates it. Well, we appreciate you watching our live broadcast here today as well. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. You know, this is very top-end hockey. You know, you have some top teams in this area. You know, we have some North Dakota teams in Minot and Grand Forks. They're, you know, the top teams in that state, I would say. Grand Forks, very good team. We've seen teams like Chaska-Chanhassen, very solid team as well. So this has been a very good tournament, very high-end hockey, and we're going to be seeing most of these players playing high school hockey down the road here.
Right, yeah, down the road here very shortly for some of them. Might see some of them next year into the high school ranks. Varsity levels even.
All right, here we go. 40 seconds remaining here in the third period. Minot trying to tie it up. Play in the corner now, and Minot comes away with it. Sent over to Jones. Jones is going to control it. Sends it over to Bass now. Now it's going to be Agard. Centering pass out front, trying to knock it in. And it's going to be taken away by Tanner George, who's going to bring it up. 18 seconds remaining here. He's going to send it up to number 7, Tegan LaPlante. And he's going to knock it in. Gets the empty netter there for Roseau. And that makes it 3-1. And that's just about going to do it here tonight. So probably no overtime here in this one.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe we'd have a chance for overtime, but Roseau scores and it'll make the Roseau fans happy here.
Either way, it's been a tight battle between these two teams. Looking at shots on goal, Minot's actually leading 32-29 in that category. But on the scoreboard, it's 3-1 in favor of Roseau as the time's going to tick down. A shot on there by Minot's McCann. And that's going to do it here from the IRA Civic Center. Our final score tonight, it's the Roseau Rabs 3 and the Minot Wolves 1. Huge win for Roseau, actually. This team played Minot in the Bantam AA tournament up in Roseau, and they lost the game 8-1. So this is a huge revenge game, a huge comeback for them from that game, and they get the victory 3-1.
Yeah, it was a well-played game by both teams. Roseau getting a victory here. Both goaltenders, I thought, played exceptionally well in this game as well. Connor Urban for Minot, and also for the Roseau goaltender, Dylan Johnson. Both played a fantastic game here tonight. Again, well-played game between two teams. Roseau gets the victory, gets that revenge against Minot from earlier in the season. And one goal in that, there was 2 goals in that third period. Minot got a goal from Dylan Bast. The first assist going to number 13, Anthony McIntosh Agard. Second assist going to Elijah Hansen. So that's pretty cool. 14 from 13 from 12. That's kind of a nice combination there. And then Roseau would go back up by 2 goals, and a goal coming from number 7. Get the right sheet in front of me. Tegan LaPlante. He got the goal for Roseau, and that's where we ended. Final score 3-1, Roseau here.
And as Tegan got that goal, Aaron LaPlante, his dad says, "Yay, Tegan!" So a good finish for him, and we thank Aaron LaPlante and other Roseau parents and fans, and I'm sure we maybe had some Minot parents as well. We thank everyone for joining us here tonight and all day for our coverage of Bantam AA hockey here at the Star of the North Bantam AA tournaments here at the IRA Civic Center in Grand Rapids. So any last thoughts before we go here tonight, and any do you have a preview for tomorrow's games that we have on slate for Sunday?
Yeah, well, it was a fun day here, Blake, at the IRA Civic Center. Fun day doing games with you, and we're glad we could bring that broadcast to all of our viewers out there. Again, thank you for watching our live stream today, and don't forget tomorrow we have a 12 o'clock game, and then the championship game, of course, at 2 o'clock tomorrow here at the IRA Civic Center. So we look forward to tomorrow. We'll find out who the teams are for those matchups very shortly here.
Yeah, I'll try to get that information tonight and get it out to you guys. Well, I'll be here tomorrow for reffing as well, so I'll make sure to take a look at the bracket out in the lobby, and we'll update you guys. Watch our 3 social media pages: Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And then, of course, after the championship game, we'll have our presentation of the Iron Range Apparel Player of the Game hat, as we'll be giving that out for that championship game tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, we'll have the hat presentation, a little short interview with the recipient of that hat. So stay tuned for all of that tomorrow right here on Up North Hockey YouTube.
So for Randy, I'm Blake. We thank you for joining us here tonight for our 2 games. The final score from the first game was Grand Forks 4 and Rochester 0. And then from the second game here just now, it was the Roseau Rams 3 and the Minot Wolves 1. So we'll see you tomorrow afternoon for 2 more games, including the championship game from the Star of the North tournament. Good night, everyone.